Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we're looking at a replay sent to me by Aerial Ace, who is playing a Yoshino. Yoshino. This is a ship that I personally am not the biggest fan of, mostly because I just don't really find Yoshino's playstyle to be super engaging for me. However, this is actually, according to Aerial Ace, their favorite ship. And so, yeah, we're gonna take a look at this battle and see how she plays it out. Anyways, so we're gonna start the game as very sort of standard, typical Yoshino Azuma playstyle, which is like long distance HE spam. And so, beginning of this game, Aerial finds the enemy Stalingrad 23 kilometers away, pops a scout plane, and well, there go the HE shells. I will apologize for one thing ahead of time. Aerial uses the shell follow cam a lot, which actually causes some massive replay issues. The replay doesn't like shells, and you'll see that when you sort of follow the shells, there's a bit of a weird stutter that sort of goes. And furthermore, the gun alignment gets a little weird, where it's like you'll see that the gun turrets in game would have been on point along with the actual reticle cursor thingamajig, but in the replay, when you go to the shell follow view, the turrets stop moving, and so it's super weird. There's some weird sort of replay issues, but it's okay. It's still a good game to watch. So beginning of the game, you really gotta be sort of careful not to make yourself an easy target if you're facing off against Yoshino and Azuma, especially ones that know how to aim and know how to use their scout planes, because they will start hitting you at a very, very long distance. It's usually a good idea, and sort of one of the things you want to do is sort of to keep moving, sort of to keep juking around, and try not to stay in the same place so that shells like this will hit you easily. Not the smartest thing for that Stalingrad to just sit there, making a very easy target for the Yoshino here. Akizuki, now this is a pretty good shot, because this Aki is actually going to go ahead and get tagged there a little bit. Not most damage there, but does take a little bit of an incompensation, which still kind of sucks if you're in Destroyer. Alright, Aerial's also playing with the 20 km torpedoes, and 20 km torpedoes, like, with Yoshino, like, sometimes you do get your hits. Most times you don't, just because the 20 kilometer torpedoes are, well, I mean, they're kind of like Shima 20Ks in that sense. They're just not reliable in actually getting hits unless the enemy target just happens to give it to you. But yeah, there's going to be some really cool things that Aerial does with the 20 km torps, and you'll see that a little bit later on. And when I say cool, I mean it's like just not expected is the way I'm going to put it, because I wasn't expecting that either. Anyways, enemy team is, well, it's nicely divided, relatively speaking. They've got some ships up north, and they've got some ships down to the south here. I expect that with the north having sort of basically gotten no opposition whatsoever from Aerial's team, that the enemy north group is probably going to push down pretty hard, and that will probably be problematic, because if they're able to successfully get off a good pincer attack off, basically if the groups in the south doesn't collapse, then there's a possibility that Aerial's team would be in a bit of trouble, as it's really hard to angle when basically enemy ships are shooting at you from two different directions. Anyhow, see how this goes. There is going to be a cyclone in approximately 2 minutes, and cyclones in Yoshino, now this is another one of those things. Yoshino really, in most cases, depends on the ability to stay at range, sort of comfortably at a range where it's hard for enemy ships to hit you in return, but relatively easy for you to HE spam them, like Aerial's doing right now, to that enemy Iowa. And we'll see how things go here. Yeah, Iowa's, again, sitting still. Probably not the best idea in the world. Typically, sitting still equals easy shots. Now, speaking of Yoshino and Azuma, I mean, Azuma's armor is really paper. Yoshino is a bit better. There's a center section that is 30 millimeters, which does provide some degree of protection against 406s, but this ship's armor is not exactly what you're going to be depending on to survive. If you're playing Yoshino, if you're playing Azuma, you're very dependent on staying at distance and maneuver. That's mostly what's going to keep you alive. Now, of course, for at least this ship, you know, sure, in some situations your armor will be of use, but yeah. And this is the reason why I typically really dislike playing in Cyclones when I'm playing Azuma or Yoshino. It's just that once that happens, you're forced to get close, and the minute you're forced to get close, bad things happen, because the range is what keeps you alive. Distance, when you're getting too close, not so much. Enemy Hindenburg, though, this is a distance you generally don't want to be, because Yoshino, as Ariel is doing right now, is loading up AP, and the AP can be effective at, well, even up to mid-range distance. Long-range distance against heavily armored ships, not so much, but yeah, against cruisers, not really an issue. Okay, Cyclone is beginning spotting range is starting to decrease to 8 kilometers, so there's going to be a little bit more time to be able to sling stuff at range, but it's going away pretty soon. There we go. Again, another HE salvo towards the Iowa. The Iowa really should not be just sitting still like that in the open ocean. If you think about it for a second and you look at the Iowa's positioning, I mean, what's the difference between sitting all the way back there in the open ocean and then getting spammed at by HE and actually just pushing right up to, say, oh man, coordinates here like G4, you know, or G3, you know, using that island as cover, as at least partial cover on the side, while you're basically still able to bring your guns to bear. I mean, out here in the open ocean, just, yeah, not really the best effect. Or even coming down to, let's say, like G3 and using that corner of the island there, you know, I mean, then you can reverse around it, right? Anyways, okay, Iowa down to 5,000 HP. HP's low. Yoshino, oh, there's the heal. Yoshino's another HE salvo here, getting spammed at by, I believe, a destroyer in that smoke as well. I think that's the gearing. I mean, I don't know if that gearing is aiming right either, but oof. Okay, 12,000 HP here. Yeah, the gearing's not aiming at the right spot. I mean, realistically speaking, if you're the gearing right now, you want to be aiming at the superstructure, because at superstructure you're going to be able to get at least pretty consistent damage, and 10,000 HP for gearing. If you're aiming at superstructure, you can take that down pretty quickly. Aiming at the bow, though, nah. 127s, the USN ones, they don't have enough penetration for that, but really should be aiming at the superstructure. That probably would have been able to take care of Ariel here, but yeah, that gearing, not super sure what that gearing is deciding to do right now. I mean, the Storm's kind of going, their team's got all the caps right now. They have a pretty big advantage. I mean, probably stay concealed, keep things spotted, drop torpedoes. That would probably be the best thing to do. Alright, Ariel's dropping 20 km torpedoes to the north. I think this is more of a, like, if anything comes in that direction, you know, maybe. But, yeah, I mean, I don't see anything on the map that indicates there's anything going to be heading north. Everything just looks like they're trying to push south. So, that's more of a, you know, hey, cross your fingers, pray, and if you get lucky, why the heck not, right? Gearing is still around. If the gearing plays everything flawlessly, then it'll be very, very troublesome for Ariel, for sure. Because that gearing will just keep you spotted all day without being spotted in return. And if the gearing doesn't engage the Yoshino, there's not much a Yoshino can do, right? It's only if the gearing opens up with its guns do you actually have an opportunity to, well, potentially shoot at it. Okay, here we go. Enemy DM. Alright, DM is one of those ships that for a Yoshino can be pretty annoying, and there's a couple of good reasons why. Des Moines, if bow on, is basically immune to Yoshino's AP. And if it's an HE sling contest, the Des Moines is going to win that like every day of the week. So Yoshino's options against Des Moines are somewhat limited. Oh yeah, by the way, excuse that weird lag that happened there. Furthermore, if the Des Moines and the Yoshi are going for one of these sort of drive-by scenarios, Des Moines has improved auto bounce angles on its armor piercing, which means that it's able to get citadels onto Yoshino before the Yoshino can do it in return. This Des Moines, on the other hand, well, I don't. Okay. Alright. Okay. we'll chalk that one down to just poorly played by the Des Moines. But now that the Des Moines has died to a Yoshino at like right this point here, it should be pretty clear that there is a Yoshino here. Well, the enemy team... Full broadside, comrade! Oy. This Stalingrad comes out and eats 20k, double Citadel. And you'd figure that the Minotaur right here would probably be going like, oh crap! And the Minotaur's like aiming at like something off in the distance. Oh, what the actual hell was that Minotaur doing? Oh yes, and Stalingrad. Goodbye. 3000 HP is 1 HE salvo for Yoshino, no problem. And so, yeah, all of a sudden, their push just fizzled out horribly because 3 of their ships went and died for, well, nothing, really, because Yoshino, which wasn't the healthiest Yoshino, which could have been taken down relatively quickly by that DM, well, the DM failed, then the Stalingrad and the Minotaur, like, oh, okay, anyways. Enemy turrets. Just outside of 8 kilometer range, Ariel sends 20 kilometer torpedoes in that general direction, and is going to get turned around and going to send another set of torpedoes in that direction. The first set, not sure if this one was aimed or predicted, but Ariel did tell me that the next set of torpedoes, well, actually aimed using sort of the mini-map, sort of estimating time that it takes for the turrets to cross squares and grids and whatever. It was calculated, it was aimed, it was done correctly. So that one, well, that one is nice because that's some hardcore level play. Watch this. Okay. Alright, so there it is. Tirpitz versus Des Moines. Okay, so Des Moines against the Tirpitz, you're probably just going to stay bow in because Tirpitz guns can't overmatch your bow. So that's pretty much what you're going to do. Watch this. Aimed, fired. That's it. That's all it took. Just a general, I guess, grid reference on the minimap, and there goes a set of 4 torpedoes. Alright. Now, gearing. I cannot really explain what this gearing was thinking. I guess the gearing was thinking that, hey, the Yoshino is relatively low, like maybe I'm going to go for it, but yeah, gearing this, not the smartest idea. Like the CV didn't even have planes up. Like why? Why take this chance? Of course, you know, not aiming well, getting hit by the CV, and eating some big damage from the Yoshino's front 2 turrets. Well, the gearing's gonna have a swell time right there. Gone. Alright. But the enemy team is still ahead. And if you take a look, the enemy still has the turrets. They've still got a carrier somewhere, which is probably quite far, and they're leading with 2 caps and quite a big points lead, and there's not as much time remaining. Torpedoes, come on now. Where are those torpedoes going? I mean, that's a pretty big distance to try to connect with torpedoes, right? Okay, torpedoes are going. Tirpitz is chasing that Des Moines. I mean, that's the correct thing sort of to do, is, you know, keep that secondary thing going. There you go, another set of torpedoes. And that aim set, that actually hit. Which gives Ariel Kraken. And with Yamamoto and Kraken, you know what this Yoshino has just become. It has turned into a quasi Des Moines. Really, it's got like near auto-loading Des Moines reload speeds on its main guns, except these main guns are some big main guns, right? So, yeah. I mean, it's the points advantage for the enemy team is substantial, mind you, right? There are quite a bit of points in front, and they got 2 caps. So Ariel immediately turns towards the B cap. Okay, the cyclone is ending, so the view range is coming back. Yeah, there's some weird stutter here. Don't ask what this is. I'm absolutely not sure what's going on here. But anyways, there is the midway. Okay, so the midway has to do one thing and one thing only. It just has to survive. That's it. The midway has no other task right now except to survive and reset whoever goes for the B cap. That's it. And all the midway has to do is hold on for 4 minutes when the midway has this massive distance advantage. Well, it's World of Warships. you can already guess what's going to happen. I mean, the Midway right now basically has to do nothing in terms of sending airplanes up. Like, forget attacking, just sail your ship. All you have to do is go up into the sea cab, turn out, and go through the gap between B9 and C9. Go out there and literally go to A10. That's all the Midway has to do to guarantee a win. There is no way that Ariel's team is going to be able to catch this enemy team in terms of points. Like, it's just not happening. With the number of minutes remaining time-wise, it is not happening. And Carrier is basically not going to kill another carrier. So, enemy Midway, just take manual control of your ships. Like, don't even worry about sending airplanes up. Just sail your ship. This game. The Midway, for some reason, did a turn and beached. And so you're like, okay, that's pretty bad. That's already giving a Yoshino that reloads in like 7.8 seconds or 7.9 seconds or something like that a chance to shoot at you constantly. But that's okay, you know, CV damage control and everything, like, you know, and the amount of deck armor and everything. Like, the Midway's still able to resist some shells here. That's not a problem. Just don't go full broadside and Midway can still absorb some of this damage, right? I mean, okay, yeah. I know it's taking damage, but Midway's a pretty tough carrier. Alright. So all you gotta do now, Midway, is go forward a little bit and turn. That's it. You see there's a big gap there. That's all you gotta do. Just turn. And... nope. Oh my goodness. This Midway. Nope. Decides to go full broadside-ish to the north, giving Ariel literally free broadside shots. Oh my goodness, Midway. This is how you throw a game. Literally the most amazing way to throw this game. And... yeah. Beached a second time. I mean, if you were the red team and this was the carrier, you'd like, oh my lord. This is the ultimate in throwing the game. I mean, there were 8 points from victory. 8! Like 3 now. Well, okay, not 3, but like 2 more ticks. That's it. 2 ticks. 1 tick. That's all it's going to take. But no. This Midway just had to survive for like that much longer. Nope. Dies. Enemy team, 998 shots landed just in time. And so there we go. Ariel's Yoshino game, 279,286 damage. Holy crap. And look at all those things. There's Kraken, high caliber. I mean, look at those. 855,000 credits. 3,429 base experience. Whew. What a game. Take a look at some damage here. Look at that. Nice balance between HE, AP, you know, fires as well, and also some torpedo damage as well. Very, very good overall game. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this game by Aerial Ace. If you've got your own replays, you know, hop on the Discord, send me your replay, and you might get featured in another one of these videos. So aside from all that, folks, take care of yourselves, have a good one, and I'll talk to all of you again soon.